guys, how's it going? Welcome to I Am Comics Podcast, Episode 4.
What up, what up?
I am Josh Casper, and this is...
JJ Kirby.
What up, JJ? How you doing?
I'm cool, man. I'm a little high right now.
Oh, yeah, that's always a good thing. Alright, let's start it off with, I wanted to ask you, do you think comics is better off in TV or movies?
Are you talking about how they being portrayed in how they're portraying comics, or are they better off being like, keep them out of the TV strictly for movies, vice versa?
Just the fact, I was thinking of just like in storytelling. How much more story can you tell in a show than you could in a movie? Does that help the character?
Well,
or does it make it bad?
I look at it like comics are something that's an episodic adventure, and that's what makes it cool. You get consistency. You get, continuity, and with a TV show, it allows for you to have that type of scenario to pop off, that type of, story to be told, intimacy, that character to be developed, over episodes. While with a movie, you get an hour or so,
an hour to two sometimes.
Yeah, to tell a tale. Now, I look at movies like they're annuals. You know what I mean? Like an annual comic book. Like you don't blow the whole load, you don't get everything, but like you hit them heavy with the annual. You let them know, like, this is when you're gonna learn. This is when you're gonna get that new flavoring in the batch. This is something special's about to happen. Yeah. You get introduced to something wild. So I love a good TV show. I love some episodic situations. Right now, I think the Flash TV show is one that's just. They throw it down heavy. They're doing the best.
Yeah, they did the Flashpoint, right?
Did they do the Flashpoint?
Yeah, they did the Flashpoint episode, I guess, where they just messed with the whole time.
Oh, well, I just watched season 2
then I ruined it for
Netflix. Yeah, you did. Thanks.
Well, I mean, it's everywhere on the internet, man. If you were on the internet.
Well, the fact that it's on the internet and everybody's talking about it and it can be appreciated and held to a certain level of appreciation, it's like, wow. I'm cool with that because, like I said, I'm old school, and I just the fact or the idea or notion that you can get a comic book television show or a comic book movie is like mind blowing still to me. I'm like, woo! I'm clapping my hands and appreciating everyone that comes out with quality, that respects the characters, the story, the book.
Well, the thing is, like, it seems like the TV shows maybe give a little bit more true to the comic than the movies do. Some of them, not all of them.
They are. You know what? I agree with you.
Like Arrow and Flash, those are doing good. Constantine, I mean, it came back up. You might like this. Supergirl, the show, they introduced Superman.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so there's a Superman in that world, and they teased the photo of Crisis on Infinite Earths where he's holding Supergirl in his arms. So they're thinking of maybe is the Arrow universe, I guess the Flash universe and all that stuff, bringing it into it. So the TV is doing a lot of the comics than the movies.
If DC crosses over their TV shows, like Marvel does with their movies, they got something. You know what I mean? They'd have something. Because Marvel is doing their shows, and they're crossing over when they do their Netflix shows and stuff. But they don't have them cross over. But they're in the same universe. They're in the same city.
Well, it's all the Hell's Kitchen, right?
New York.
Yeah. Well, the Defenders is coming out, and it's all those guys. So each person, the next one is what's his name? Iron Fist. Yeah.
It's like I don't know the actor. I'm not familiar with his acting ability. They said he was on or I guess I heard that he was on Game of Thrones.
Was he?
I guess
the guy who plays Iron Fist. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I gotta look it up then.
Dude with the curly blonde hair.
There's a lot of dudes with curly blonde hair. I don't know.
I don't watch. So you don't watch Game of Thrones?
I do, which is the funny thing.
Oh wow.
Hey man, I forget a lot of stuff. All right, I don't know why. It just happens.
I wonder why. Yeah, that's crazy. But when it comes to
the comics and the shows, going to the shows. See?
Well, no, like I said, like when it comes back to doing that, I'm like, I just want it any way I can. I want the cartoons, I want the live action, I want the movies. I just want it done right. I want them to put the comic book characters and the situations on the damn screen that they pull from the books. I don't want them like a corporate executive decision and something like, we need to do this because somebody needs it like this. Somebody we can only afford this. Or blah blah blah.
I think it just comes down to like you probably get more freedom in a TV show than a movie because a movie, you're like millions of dollars. TV show, I'm pretty sure it's it's still a couple million maybe. I don't know, but it always seems like you're a little bit more off doing TV. Like you have more free. In a movie, if you can do that, it's hard to make a lot of money.
Well, you got to realize it's all about marketing. It's all about advertisement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because they're doing a TV show and they're trying to do a movie, it is to be sold. Well,
can you do
commercials?
Can you do a Batman show? I mean, they're doing it with Gotham right now with like the little Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. So he's growing up. Mm-hmm. So maybe that show's gonna last for a long time, and they're trying to hope use that little kid, or who knows?
I'll put it like this: you won't see that kid in the Bat outfit anytime soon, even if he gets old. It's the same thing with
because it's all about Gordon, right?
It's all about Gordon, but it's not about Gordon. It's about Gotham. Yeah. It's about the city. So it's just like what makes it work is that you're familiar with all the characters.
Yeah.
And you know how they turn out. You just get to see the beforehand. And that's like, ooh, that's what the hotness of that show is.
Well, isn't that the thing about Gotham City? Is to a lot of writers, it always seemed more intriguing to them about the city than the actual anything else, right? Like to them, Batman was a cool thing, but if you could like just make the city the main story, then that is Batman, right?
Yeah, that is the heart and beauty of what that story is all about. People think like, oh, it's about Batman. Batman is just the byproduct of the city.
He's just a victim, just like everybody else. But he's had the means to become this man. What if some homeless guy, did the same thing?
Of course, hey, it's like people. It's like if he didn't have enough time to think, to write, to portray the stories that all the issues of Batman.
Yeah.
When they created him, it was just like, oh, he's a dude who runs around in like a bat suit who wants to put fear in people.
Yeah.
And that's it. But like over time, it's like he's such an icon now that it's like, oh wow, that's Batman. I'm like, he's this. They wanted. He's like Santa Claus to some people. They trying to figure out how to make him believable and real. Like he could exist.
Well, he beats out a Superman now, right? Like pretty much he's like more popular than Superman.
They write it now and portray it now. We're like he's the money maker. Superman used to be for years, and then like Batman all of a sudden pumped up and became the money maker. And
going back to Smallville though, that's like one of the first kind of like superhero shows that they started doing, right? Because that was done a while ago. Like I think I was.
It was Dawson's Creek with some superhero powers thrown in, and it's like
it was Buffy. It was like the same as all those kind of shows that we loved.
Back in the day, man, it was right on time. It was like. When it came on, and it was just like Smallville, and it's like people were watching it. They didn't. People who didn't know that it was about Superman origins like that.
It was like, more Clark Kent than Superman.
Yeah, they were just like, oh, this is like some Dawson's Creek something.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like Superman. He's like, oh, I got powers, and they're like, oh, this is Superman?
Yeah.
That's crazy. It blew their mind. I was like, are you for real?
But that show created the template to make Arrow and Flash.
It did.
Because that's the same recipe that I see them use.
Same recipe, and it works every time. And it's just like...
same recipe, different hero, and you got gold.
You do. As long as you put them in the costume. Yeah. As long as you, get, like with the Flash, that changed the rules. I know Green Arrow changed the rules too with that. Because like I said, Smallville, you was not going to see him in the outfit.
Until the very final season, you saw him. They
didn't show a shot of him in the suit. Did he just standing there like like in his glory?
I think he had the cape.
He had the cape.
I don't think he had.
He didn't have the outfit.
I don't know, man.
They didn't put him in the outfit. They would never do that.
Well, it was the final season. So the final season, you could see them doing that as like
you would think they would,
like because he's done being Clark Kent in Smallville, so now he's going in Metropolis.
You know what I'll say. You know why I say they don't or probably didn't is because legal reasons too. Maybe. Because I'll be like, oh, that's some whole other pickle when you're trying to deal with like the character in TV. Yeah. You know what I mean? In costume, representing who it is. That's a whole. If they never put him in the outfit, they can say this is Clark Kent, and he doesn't become Superman. Yeah. But it's like it's called Smallville.
He is Superman, but he doesn't wear the suit.
He doesn't wear the suit, but like we know who he is. Yeah. But like legally, they don't say it, so that allows them to do certain things. It's probably some others. it's always gonna be some other something.
I could swear they use the name though. Like, don't they say Superman a couple times or something like that?
Why would they?
Because I know the show goes for like a while, man, and Luthor ends up finding out that Clark Kent is the Superman. And
Kryptonian. But I'm like, in order for him to become Superman, he has to put on the costume. If he has no costume, I know that.
I thought it was just the symbol of it, though. It wasn't like necessarily the costume. It's just like the whole.
The costume was like it's trademark.
The whole symbol of the S.
Trademark.
Like, well, yeah, I get that. You know, it's not like having Batman, but just all Bruce Wayne and no Batman.
Right.
Like, do you really just want to watch Bruce Wayne doing all that? Like, if Gotham was no Gordon,
if soap operas, like Days of Our Lives and All of Our Children have been on for years,
right?
Generations,
yep,
literally lifetimes. It's just like, why can't they make something about Bruce Wayne that's just as entertaining? You know, he's rich, he's handsome, he get mad women, he owns a company. His parents passed away. He got over that stuff. He traveled the world, and it's like. They never show Batman. Yeah. All that you know it's Batman, but you don't show it
because you want to see Batman.
But it's the other side of Batman. It's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
So it's like to do a show about Bruce Wayne would be amazingly dope to me. You know what I mean? We're just like he's in meetings with people, and it's just like all that corporate espionage type situation. But he also got to deal with criminals in the nighttime. When everybody goes home.
But how if they don't show him as Batman?
But they don't show him as Batman. They just show him as Bruce.
All right.
You know what I mean? And just show how badass he is as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, he's rich. He goes places. He has a history.
Yeah.
He's like the ideal man in our society right now. And then like he has another life where he dresses up in a bat costume and chases people down. And that shit'll be fucking dope.
It seems to me though that in your head you would just want year one.
Because that would probably. I'm talking about Batman now because he still does the same thing. Same thing.
I think year one though would probably be more. People would probably be more open to that than just the whole Bruce Wayne and no Batman.
If you're trying to seed the populace to be like, we got to reintroduce this character to people, then you do year one.
Well, remember
right?
you got to.
Mad at that.
You're doing it for ratings, so if you
got to start with it, but it's just like you can. But you can also, if you're good with storytelling, you can tell it. But he's already Bruce Wayne. He's the one love, present day doing his thing, and then he's going through the first season where he's like, he's remembering his year one.
Yeah.
And it's helping him with present day stuff. You can work that type of story and angle everything, and that'd be cool. Like I said, I know people are like, who wants to hear about Bruce Wayne? I'm like, man, they've done TV shows based off regular people. With an interesting cast that do interesting shit or get into some interesting scenarios or whatever, have to deal with some stuff. Some science special. You can do some special. Like I said, they build crazy weapons at Wayne Tech. What the fuck do they do there?
Yeah.
They build crazy shit. So
it's the same thing as Iron Man. They don't really ever show what he builds. They just show what Tony Stark builds.
He builds weapons. Yeah. Tony Stark builds weapons.
But there's a point where he stops building.
He stops. Then he's like, I want to make projects and weapons and things that are good for good.
Yeah.
That's why he has the repulsor. It doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
It repulses you. It's like force.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't. I don't think it burns. Unless I think that's
unless he sets it on high or something, right?
Something like a hairdryer.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But it's just like Wayne Tech. What did they do? So they come up with just crazy tech. They left it open. Like And then he had the underground. Lucius Fox, who's like, son, I know what's up.
Well, then
I got your back. I'm the brother man from another land. What's up?
Is Bruce Wayne just being a hog then with all that tech? Couldn't he just give it to some armies or something?
No, see, it's the same situation. Like you run into the situation where you're like, man, I'm using my weapons, or you're taking my tech and use it to kill.
Yeah.
You got to be prepared for that.
Well, it's just the armor. Like I'm saying, like if he just sold like the Batman armor or something like that to some armies or something like that.
Well, but I'll put it like this: if he gives it out to the military, then it's like then. Anybody can get that shit, and then he won't be as special.
Nah.
So I'm like, he needs that shit to be special right now. If everybody has it, then he won't be special.
I've always wondered this: is the different variations of Batman's in the comics is which one is like bulletproof, knife proof, which costume, or were they all just regular costumes where he got stabbed, he got shot, he just went through? It was just a man in a regular costume with a utility belt.
When they started doing the video game. and started doing like the high, like all the high tech weapon, the high tech.
Or just adding armor, yeah.
You know, layering, you know, Kevlar, all this modern technology stuff, because his costume could work for that.
Yeah.
Once they took the underwear off of him, like let's take the underwear off of him. We can, you know, we can replace that with like, you know, militaristic, you know, pads and you know, gear.
Yeah, a bunch of
and then you know, lining and stuff.
Good.
Right, and it made sense. It's like, oh, it can work. And then they're like, oh, we can do this to Superman also. And I'm like, oh, and then other characters take it away. But I'm like, with him, like, he upgraded. But before that, he gets stabbed. He got stabbed. You know, like it was durable fibers in his outfits, but it was just part of. It
was just so he could kick longer and hit you, like stuff like that.
It's like, you know,
more
like,
flexible.
You gotta realize, like, he's not bulletproof.
Yeah,
you know, that's why he got to be really good with his hands and his fisticuffs.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, wouldn't he just wear something that would make him bulletproof, even though it would slow him down a little bit? Or because you always got to get that, the upgrade with the downgrade.
You got to realize he is a 6 foot something. He's a big dude doing acrobatic shit with heavy weighted armor shit. I'm like, all right, Batman would be the one who can do some shit like that.
Yeah, he can.
Right, but it's just like with Wayne Tech, he's gonna get some lightweight shit that can resist it.
Well, so that's why with the Wayne Tech, wouldn't you just be able to get a lightweight bulletproof vest or something added to that? Well, they kind of do. They kind of explain it.
All right. I'm like, all right. And then it's on sensibility, because you got to remember where this stuff is coming from. We're talking about him like he's a real person.
Yeah,
you know, like artists.
He is.
Artists
he's a real person.
And depending on where the writer wants to take it, you know, is what the artist will do, and then what you will receive when you pick up the book. So, you know, you need to remember that. So, if you're asking, like, when was the point where he stopped being, like, you know, wearing the regular costume and started armor plating it up and looking at where it is, like, where it's at now. Like I said, I think it was when the video game started interpreting him and giving it all fanciness. Like, I remember, like Carlos Deanda, that's the homie, you know, we worked at Washroom together, big up. He did designs on the Batman video game. And I remember when he was going through the stuff he was just showing them was
it the Arkham one for the
first? The Arkham one.
Okay.
That first one or whatever.
The Asylum.
I don't remember which one. Whatever first one that kicked it all off.
Yeah.
He was on, like, when they did Harley with the ponytails and his all.
The one with Mark Hamill still doing the voice of the Joker? Yeah, it's Arkham Asylum, the first one.
He was the designer on that.
Oh, he did that one?
They tapped our company, or they tapped us to do some designs for it.
And what made them keep the underwear in the game? If you notice in part 1 and 2, he has the underwear.
Was it a skin?
And then in the his regular costume in Arkham Asylum, he goes in there, he has a like badass like Batman outfit, but he has the underwear outside. And then in Arkham City, he has the underwear on again, and then I believe in Arkham Knight, the third one, they just take it off and give him like robotic kind of like
robotic armor.
Not robotic, but a little
body armor.
Like it's weird, like it moves and like it
tech.
Yeah, it kind of explains like my whole thing, like how he's bulletproof.
Yeah,
and you know you did it right in the games, because the game. It should give Batman that extra layer, because if you're just a dude and your health is down, you're like, what the fuck, Batman?
No.
So you give him that armor and all that stuff. Superman doesn't need it, because the bullets just bounce right off him. There's no point. Unless you just want him to look cool. Sometimes I want my guys to just look cool.
That's what it's all about.
They gotta wear stuff that's even unnecessary. I don't care. Make them look cool, damn it.
That's what it's all about. For real. That's what it's all about. So, like I said, like for mine, I'm a classic lover, but I'm also I like modern stuff where I'm like, yo, son, he got a tech outfit. Batman's suit evolved that with that. I don't like when they spread it everywhere, though. I will say that. Flash having a tech, like heavy tech looking, parts to his costume. Yeah. I don't like that. It like the technical lines to it or whatever. I'm like, it ain't fresh to me. I can, and if the way it's done, it could have been done better or something.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to hate on it, but it just doesn't give me the
same vibe.
It doesn't give me that feel. It doesn't give me that vibe. Like when I design costumes, I try to go for a feel and a vibe, and I'm like, not just to be on some like, look at this cool effect.
Yeah.
And if I do this cool effect, it's gotta go with the fashion. It has, I like fashion. I mean, I like the motherfucker got to be fly when he on the scene. Not just like, of course. Not just drawing like, oh, look at how many pockets you can put on him, or like, he got multiple zippers. I'm like, but do they do anything? Are they there for a reason? Are they are they fresh?
Well, it's like with a Tony Stark. Every time somebody draws Tony Stark, you have to draw that armor, and it's an armor. How many different variations, do you always get to choose your own new style of Iron Man suit when you're writing for it, or do you?
So. You know what? I will say it depends on what Marvel wants to do when it comes to Tony Stark and his armor. So if Marvel's like, yo, son, we trying to do the new Marvel Now push. We're trying to do this whole new thing with comics or whatever, or we're doing this overall storyline with Tony where he loses everything and comes back and has to build new armor or whatever. So that. Then they'll tap a writer to be like, we want you to write this story for Tony getting some new armor after this event or whatever. And then they'll have an artist who they like, yo, we like your design. Can you design Tony Stark's armor for us? If it's not going to be the artist of the book.
Yeah.
So, it's like, back in the day, they'd be like, yo, you drawing this book, you design this character's armor. Yeah. But nowadays, they'd be like, yo, we're going to get this artist to design the costume, and then we're going to take that costume and have it drawn by this artist on the book, All right. So, and sometimes that's cool.
Yeah.
Because you get some people who just like, wow. But then not all the time that's cool.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who draw costumes and designs in a way that they make them look fresh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they make them look amazing. And then you have some people who can draw the fuck out of anybody's costume and characters. Like, Arthur Adams can draw the fuck out of anybody's character or costume and just make it look cool and fresh.
Yeah.
Because he plays with his shapes. He plays with his textures. And it's just, for mine, when I look at his stuff, it's like a big bowl of cereal Saturday morning with the cartoons and shit. You know what I mean? You just eat the shit. You know what I mean? Fruity Pebbles and shit. It's like, yo, I got a big bowl of Fruity Pebbles and shit, so you can't fuck with me. Right? It's like his artwork does that for me. You know what I mean? So like, he can draw anybody's costume, and that's the marketability of him when you want to see him draw somebody. You're like, ooh, draw this character, draw that character. You know what I mean? And then there are people who like Jim Lee. I love his designs when he draws his designs for his shit. Yeah. But to try to draw his characters, you'll never draw them as cool as he makes them.
As he does them, yeah.
He draws them in a way that just suit all of his. It just suits everything he's about. You know what I mean? Everything is just like, yo, this shit is. He draws the fuck out of this, out of that, da 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 da, and then you be like, yo, Jim just drew them. He laced it. Yeah. And then you come in trying to draw the same thing, you lose a level. It's like. I don't lace it like he laced it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm more like, yo, what the fuck? And he just like, it's just like, what the fuck, So, and so I had to learn that. So like, even me, when I design and draw characters, it's like, I draw to just make it look dope. I play with my shapes. I respect the character. I try to draw through with quality, and just keep it fresh. And look at it like, yo, is he banging? Is she doing it? You know what I mean? It's like, do I like this? If I saw this, would I say, damn, that's tight? You know what I mean? They never come. It's like, I think the imagery in my head never shows up on the page, but it's just like with the fashion, I can get it in the right area. You know what I mean? And I do play with it. I love. Like,
if you got a chance to do Spider-Man however you wanted, how would you do him? Ooh. Peter Parker and Spider-Man. How would you do him with the fashion, and Spider-Man? How would
you know what? If I were to do Spider-Man now, for one, I would go back to the classic costume. It's like the black and white one is dope. The red and blue one is dope. I don't like the new one where they have like the spider symbol glowing, and they try to keep it the same, but like just little skew on it.
Oh, isn't that like this little life alert turning on?
I don't know what the fuck's up with that. It's another classic case of like the artist can draw the fuck out of that design. Like Alex Ross designed that. He illed it. Now when everybody else draws it though, it doesn't look the same.
Oh no,
It just looks like his boots come up to here on the side, or
you try to imitate Alex Ross, like no.
But the thing is, you're not supposed to imitate Alex Ross. You're just supposed to like go with the design of the costume. Yeah. But it's like Alex Ross is like so amazing. It's like damn, he draws so realistic. It's
the same with Jerome Opena. He was it 7 to Eternity that he did with Remder? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's his Avengers. He only did like 3 or 4 Avengers, I think.
Mm-hmm. I remember when he came in.
Of the new Avengers, where they go to Mars. And like, oh, I loved how it was drawn, man. It was so beautiful. And then he left, and I noticed it. I was like, this is not him.
He just did from the scene
for a little bit. It's the same thing. He did all of Uncanny X-Men, or X-Force. All of Uncanny X-Force.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
him and Rick Remender. Again, beautiful fucking, that art is amazing, dude. I wish I could just tear the pages and hang them up everywhere, but I don't,
Yeah, he fresh. Dude, he throwing it down. Killing it.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of artists out there that people don't know. That are just amazing artists. And then there's some that are still kind of popular, but still people don't know about them,
Right.
Because you're just, you take their characters and you're putting them into a show or into a movie, and you don't really give, like Kirkman. If people probably didn't have that Talking Dead show afterwards, and he wouldn't come out there if he wasn't so public about it, you probably still wouldn't have known, Just reading the comic, you would have just gone on to the local, like, whatever conventions going on, he would have probably been there. He's still there,
True.
But now he's a bigger name, and then when you put yourself out there, probably gets you that.
True. I like to have the eye, though. Like you said, when it comes to up-and-coming talent, like Travel Foreman, love his shit. Love his artwork right now. Like, he forces the perspective. It's like...
what is he doing?
He's doing Spider-Man. He did, I think the last things he did was Spider-Man. He's supposed to be doing... what book is he upcoming on? He did Animal Man for DC for a little bit. I want to say he started off at Wildstorm. When I wasn't there, but I heard he was back in the office doing the thing and everything. I wish I would have met him. But I love his design. He had a detailed sense of realism that he still stretches and pulls and plays with. Like it's almost like you're on acid or you're tripping through a fisheye lens. You know what I mean? But it's like I will say I've seen artists like him. Like I put him in the comparison of like Michael Lopez, Travis Charest, who used to do Wildcats.
What about him? I will get his name wrong, I'm sure. But is it Jim Steranko or something?
Who?
He did Nick Fury in the '60s.
Oh, Jim Steranko.
Yeah, I told you I was gonna mess up his last name.
Steranko. Yeah.
But yeah, his art.
He is a pimp. I'm like, you see him at a show? He is a pimp.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll swoop your lady. Pimping.
With the fucking silver fox hair.
Wow.
That man is just, I saw pictures of him, and then I saw him, I think he was on a documentary on KPBS about comics.
We'll swoop your lady.
The man looks smooth as hell still with his glasses, his cigar. I was like, damn, dude.
Dos Equis.
Right? He should be the world's most interesting man.
He is.
I remember he was telling the story how he went into like Stan Lee and was like, "You're gonna pay me my money," because he just drew Nick Fury.
Damn.
And he was like, "It wasn't Stan Lee. It was somebody in Marvel, I guess." And he drew, and they're like, "We can't pay you. There's no words." And he's like, "You're gonna pay me," and they paid him. Like the man.
Well, he drew the whole book, and then there's no words in it.
No, I think it's the first like 3 or 6 pages. Mm-hmm. There's like no words.
Okay, but he drew imagery.
He drew all of it, but he also wrote it, I believe.
Oh.
So they just told him they weren't going to pay him for the pages that he didn't write anything. That was just art.
What?
Yeah, it was like, what, the 60s, 70s? So,
I know back in the days when they was raping artists left and right, like it was a thing to do.
You had to do both, right? You had to do image and, like, you had to draw it and then put the words if you wanted to get paid before, like...
Well, no, there were writers, there were artists, there were writers, there were artists. And then there was like, artists who could write. So then it's like, in my opinion, like John Byrne has done like issues. Was it Steranko's before John Byrne though? So I'm like, it probably was a situation where it's like, I'm gonna do something, creative.
Yeah.
And put it out there, and the powers that be were like, man, what you doing? We ain't messing with you. You trying to flip the script and get paid extra. You know what I mean? And Steranko's like, yo, man, you gonna give me my bread, homie? You gonna give me my slice or get this slice?
I think it was also maybe because he decided to do Nick Fury, and at the time, because he was saying that he chose the one that he wasn't selling the most. So he's like, I can get the one that's not selling the most and just revamp it, and people will buy it because of my art. I'm that damn good, and that happened. So that's why he's like, I'm getting my money.
You gonna give me my fucking bread?
Some legs is gonna be broken or some hands.
I'm gonna cut you.
There's gonna be less artists
around this studio. You gonna get this New Year's summer slice. I'm gonna get you.
Somehow magically all the artists' arms are broken.
Damn.
I can't draw this month. Call Jim.
Wow.
Jim's the only one.
Wow.
We're not saying he did this or that he was going to in any way. We do not speak for him.
Wow. Wow. No diggity. Wow.
The other question I had was if you could make a Mount Rushmore of writers and artists, or just artists, who would they be?
Oh wow!
If it's just artists or just writers or a mixture of both, or
see, that's the thing about it. If we're talking about who
I'm saying you personally, you.
All right. Personally, to me, who would be on my who I uphold,
and then we will say, I guess, generally who, but to you,
you know, how many hits are on 4? That's
4.
4.
Yeah.
Who I think is the dopest in the industry, like you know, Arthur Adams, John Byrne. I love Mark Millar.
Yeah.
And that's tough for the last one because I can go.
You can go so many people, but this is the last one.
I'm kind of torn. I'm torn between Jim Lee because you know I got to meet him and appreciate him and what he brings to the table and done for the industry behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So it's beyond art for what he will be up there for. But then it's like Alan Davis. I didn't say him right? No. He did Excalibur, and he was one of my favorite artists because he's such a solid artist. If he drew a coffee cup, he drew a coffee cup. No extra rendering lines, no extra nothing. Yeah. It was just like pure form. His anatomy was on form. He can draw a woman with or without makeup, and you knew who she was. She's sexy now. You know, he was just amazing. He's so beautiful, so beautiful with his artwork. So if I have to pick, up there, it's like. Right. It's between those two, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's always the hard one, and the last one's always the hardest one. Like, I would choose, and these are probably easy ones. Yeah. Neil Gaiman. Okay. Like, of course, it's just the stuff he's wrote. I love. Okay. Alan Moore. Okay. You know his stuff. Of course. You know, Pinnacle. V for Vendetta was one of my favorites. No diggity. I loved the movie. Amazing. I loved it as well. I freaking love that movie. Amazing. Shit. The third one. I'm kind of blanking, but it would be Rick Remender. Like his...
I think his name is Rick
Remender, but I'm too lazy and I just say Remender. If he feels bad about it, wants to correct me, he's free to come on this show or this podcast and correct us about it.
Come on the show and smack the hell out of you.
Hey, fuck it. If he's just gonna smack me, at least
my name ain't whatever the fuck.
At least I can put it. Mick Remender smacked me on the podcast, and people will listen to it.
That is true. That is true. Go ahead. Who's your
and the last one is like a duo: Joseph Loeb and Tim Sale.
Tim Sale.
It's just because of their Batman stuff is just so important to me, and I'm pretty sure to a lot of other people. Too. Long Halloween, I mean, the writing and that Batman, the Batman long ears. I mean, come on, it's the Catwoman and the purple, like ooh, and I love purple, man. So I was like, oh, she looked good.
People definitely love to get the chance to experience an artist's interpretation of a character. So, that's like The Dark Knight Returns. That's like, when Jim Lee did his interpretation of Batman. When people get to draw their like when Alan Davis drew his versions of Batman. I was like, ooh, I loved it. Because there are people who just can draw, put that on it, and you'll be like, wow, I've never seen that corner of that picture. I never saw that aspect of that character. I never seen him interpreted that way. And you got to be cool with that. So
I think to me for Batman was is it Capullo or
Capullo?
Yeah,
Greg Capullo.
Yeah, his Batman. I love it. It's his art. I love his Jokers. His artwork is dope. His 3 different Jokers he did were amazing. His the bat suits, the bat armor, the mech Batman, the Court of Owls, Night of Owls. Like,
he's just dope though.
When
he was on what was it? Quasar from Marvel. Yeah. X-Force. Then it's like when Ty swooped him up to go do Spawn. He was on Spawn forever. And then it's like he finally left Spawn to go Batman. It's like that dude's a fucking beast.
Well, now he's doing, what is it, Reborn with
Mark Millar. Yeah. I'm like, my whoo. And it's just like I'm reading it, I'm like, all right, it should take me someplace. Let me see something. And there's this scene in there where, like, I guess this woman, she's dying. Yeah. And, she sees her life as a cascade of pictures. But they're like, he drew it in a way where they're, like, organized like a chandelier.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? So it's like, all these images is like, on like a chandelier tier down to where she's at and everything. I was just like, that's dope. You know, Greg Capullo killing it once again.
Oh yeah, he was. So that's our personals. Is what do you think would be the general? You know, the general thing of who would everybody say would be on the 4 on their Mount Rushmore.
Everybody got their own interpretation of who they think would be, you know.
But right off the bat, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree with Stan Lee. They would say
Stan Lee. Of course. Oh, like a place like that.
Yeah,
of course you'd be like, well, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have those two, and then
like everybody has their own personal opinion, but if you I'm pretty sure the general consensus, like if you grabbed a bunch of people, if they didn't know,
if you don't have those two, you messing up. And then it's like,
do you need Schuster and Siegel and Bob Kane because they created Superman and Batman? Would you include those guys? Would you include
see, that's like, not because they created those characters. And it's like, oh, you know, you created like the most popular characters. It's like, yeah, that's cool. But I'm like, Jack Kirby's ability, what he brought to the table, when he could draw, Stan would give him like a basic outline of a plot.
Yeah.
Jack would be like, all right, let me go take this and turn it into gold.
Yeah.
And so he would start at, start at the top of the page on the left-hand side and just start drawing. And draw until it gets down to the bottom right-hand corner of the page and be like, all right, that page is there. And then the next page be like, all right, one of us will do. All right, this cat's supposed to do this and that.
Yeah.
And draw and continue and just draw the stories out. That is ability, and that's crazy. You know what I mean? To be able to take somebody's outline of a story, and the script and everything, and then like, just draw it.
Yeah.
And then give it back and be like, here, dialogue it. You know what I mean?
I'm done. Here you
know what I mean? That's that. And then like Stan to be able to do that. Also, it's like, what? To be able.
Those comics have a lot of words in them.
No, of course, but it's like it was a different era. It's like they're books. You read them, you know. But it's like to be able to tell something that's socially going on and weave it into your story and plotline and the character or whatever, you know. It's like Stan had nuts to do that, to be able to be like, I'm going to talk about the civil rights movement, or I'm going to talk about,
creating the X-Men to talk about racism, to creating these guys to talk about this.
What I mean? Just talking about all this stuff and putting it out there and having a system for what he does, like giving it like Peter Parker, or Reed Richards, or I forgot what it's called, but it's like, to get these people's these names, these rhyming names, you remember them better. It's like he had a science to what he was doing, and the fact that he's still a symbol and be kicking still.
Yeah.
He gonna be kicking. He gonna be on the mic.
Well, like Jack Kirby as well. Like Jack Kirby kept drawing until he died.
Of course. And so you have to have those two up there.
Yeah.
Now it's like, for me, it's like, I don't know who else. I would say John Byrne once again, because it's a matter of what he did when he was doing it.
Yeah.
He beasted out on people. Like, dude, he wrote, penciled, inked it, came up with so much of the mythos for characters that you like because Superman was doing his thing. He was like, now I'm gonna get on Superman and fucking limit him this way or get in depth on him this way, develop this character that way, and then bring in these iconic characters and draw it in a way that's quality that you just like everybody's keeping up with the cartoon.
You feel you got your
trying
money's
to chase
worth.
his style. Trying to get down with him. So it's just like, he's killing it. So John Byrne, like gotta give it up. And people will be like, well, I don't know who John Byrne is. I'm like, he's your favorite artist. You know what I mean? And it's like this shit comes from someplace. So like that's why I would put him up there.
Yeah.
And, like he did it for that long.
Yeah.
So I gotta give it up to him. And then it's just like, well, do you go independent or do you talk about
you could
people
go
in the mainstream? Because I would say like an independent artist, like like the dude who did Cerebus.
Yeah.
To be independent, do your own book, hold it down, industry like that. For people, they'd be like, well, yo, did we get some representation on the heads up there?
Yeah.
Like Wendy and Panini, like Wendy Panini who did ElfQuest.
Yeah.
Richard and Wendy Panini, like they pioneers doing their own thing and stuff. So like, do you put them up there? How does that work?
Well, it's What would you think though? The general would say.
Would you say Chris Claremont because he held it down on X-Men?
I would say that, but I think a lot more people would probably say Frank Miller. Just because of what he's done. And Frank Miller has done a lot of stuff. Not just Batman, The Dark Knight Returns.
No doubt. He has, and he is amazing. Frank Miller can draw like a mother. Is like his styling. Is like he's a beast. And it's like, but his contribution.
Well, yeah, it's not. It's more like, okay, like Stan Lee's contribution went beyond comics because the man, he is Marvel. You can't really look at DC and come up with a name like that. You don't have DC doesn't have that.
And Jack was right there with him doing the damn thing. No. So, and it's like Jack touched DC and Marvel. You know what I mean? Yeah. John Byrne touched DC and Marvel. And, you know, he just killed it and crushed it.
But Stan Lee was like, he's like, that's what I'm saying is.
But Stan Lee, but I feel like this DC doesn't really have somebody that's like Stan Lee.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like they never had that, huh? And was that their fault that they never capitalized?
They didn't really need it.
That's true. Bob Kane made Batman, and that was just like.
They were just creatives trying to get their ideas out there and get it off. Yeah. And that's all those cats was. They had a job. They were doing their thing and making it happen. But Stan oversaw so many books. He was an editor. Yeah. He was he worked his way up to being head of that shit or whatever. And then like, you know, like I'm gonna see this book. This was, you know, like, and just see it and kept it. And then he he's like Puffy. Yeah. He had the sense to be like, I'm gonna get out there in front of the characters and be like, look at this, look at me,
Excelsior.
You know what I mean? It's just like he's like, you gotta respect a forward thinking cat like that. Who's just like, it ain't all about just, you know, like just the books.
Oh yeah,
you know, he's like, you know, it's more than just the books. Because his thing was like, every book is somebody's first book. Well, that's why he always explained in the back in the day, like somebody getting their powers, like, oh, my powers do this. In every issue, you'd be like, why are they saying what his powers is every time? Like, cause Stan was like, this book is somebody's first book.
Yeah.
So like, I want them to be able to pick it up and absorb it and be like, yeah, you know, this cat can do this and that, and this is who they are. Well, and get a sense of them, and then go into the story.
That was always the difference with Marvel and DC. It was Marvel, Stan Lee wrote these, you know, stories, and they just, you know, they were close to home. DC was just gods. Like, they had their humans, but they had most gods. So it's kind of like...
Well, DC definitely does and have the pantheon of godly, like, entities. The epitome of people. Yeah. Like I said, Batman's the richest motherfucking, you know. Yeah. It's like Superman's, like, you know, the strongest, and Wonder Woman's the strongest woman.
Yeah.
And, like, you know.
And Flash is the fastest. Is like, you know,
he's the fastest.
Green Lantern is the, like, otherworldly galactic power.
He polices the universe, and then it's like, you know, like Aquaman is like, he's the Lord of the Sea. So it's like they create these characters, and then the DC's thing is trying to get you to feel for these characters. That if they can get you to feel for these deities, then it's like that's where their stories. That's where the story is at. So Marvel's thing is like, well, we got people who are trying to pay their bills just like you, except this person can shoot webbing out of his hand and climb up walls.
Yeah,
you know, and plus he has to go to school.
Oh, yeah, right. You know, he still has to do everything, get a job, do all that stuff.
You know what I mean? So that's the difference between Marvel and DC for me when I read them. It's just like, all right, I have to be prepared for this ride. So I'm more of a realist where I'm like, I believe, and I'm down with the, you know, the homie that's in the passenger side. I'm like, yo, son, what we do, you know, you feared and hated because of your skin color. I can relate to you.
Well, it's not to say that
different. You know what I mean? You're a mutant or whatever. I can relate to you, but like DC doesn't have that. So because like, what am I supposed to relate to? You know,
but that's the thing too. Is not to say that Marvel doesn't have their gods as well, because they do. But they just handle. Do they handle them better, or what is it? Do they just? They don't use them as much, right?
Who Deep Marvel?
Like Marvel, yeah, because like the Celestials, and then you got like the Watcher.
They use them all the time. It's like they would use them in ways that like that felt right. That was necessary to push the story forward. Yeah. Like whenever the Watcher shows up. Some shit's about to drop.
You know some shit's about to go down.
So I'm like, that's dope. So you know, like if you don't, I think they jumped the shark with the Watcher when they had Red Hulk punch him and knock him out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, really? I was like, that's just like potty humor to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, you don't do that. That's like you coming into church and kicking over the cross or something.
Well, did you read Original Sin, which is the one where they killed the Watcher? Somebody kills the Watcher, takes his eye.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
That's a necessary story device. I'm cool with it. The evolution of the universe. Maybe they knew that, well, we're going to destroy the universe anyway, or we're going to reboot it. So they're like, we can do whatever we want. You know, maybe it was just like such a radical idea that it got pushed through. Like, yo, somebody kills the Watcher and takes his eyes. And it's like, I'm like, oh, that's
they're able to see every fucking thing.
Everything he's seen.
Yeah.
You can experience,
you
know,
crazy.
if you hold his eyes. Whatever. I'm like, all right, that's. And then they was like, you know, but that's going to have ramifications throughout the Marvel universe.
Oh yeah.
Where like Thor's not worthy, you know, other stuff. You know, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not mad at this. So it was a necessary device for the story's evolution.
It made Bucky the new Watcher.
Yeah, man on the wall.
Yeah, he was the man of the wall.
Nick Fury was that, and it's a deep story. If you haven't read it, you should read it because it's a deep story, but it's really cool.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I ain't mad at it.
It was awesome, but yeah, like how you said, They knew they were just gonna end the universe, so they were like at fuck it mode.
Probably,
but they're like, make it crazy, but that also helped. But that might have hurt some stories, but it helped a lot of other ones because the crazier you got, you could introduce whatever the hell you wanted.
You can, but it's kind of like wasteful to introduce some new hot something and then just to destroy your universe, and then realize, oh, people liked it, and how do we carry that on? And
they ended up keeping them. They did that after Secret Wars was over. I know they did a thing where they got rid of certain issues and certain characters, and then they brought in new ones or the ones that replaced. Like Wolverine dies, and then Laura becomes the new Wolverine.
Right.
So that's how they were able to replace him, kind of. And then Spider-Man, they just brought 2 Spider-Mans in one universe. They brought the characters that they didn't really want to kill off from the Ultimate Universe. So now they're living in our universe. So they're cohabitating, I guess. Right. And I don't know how they're gonna handle all that. Plus, like the Lady Thor. We don't want to reveal who she is in case you guys want to read it. It's pretty cool.
True, but by now everybody should know who she is. I ain't gonna reveal it either, but yeah. It's dope. When I was like, who is she? Who is this chick? And then you find out who she is. You're like, oh shit.
It's cool, but then you're like, oh fuck, that sucks.
No,
because there's always the bad side of the magic,
but it's just like it's. I'm cool with it, like I say, anything that's an interesting story, because when you read comics for so long, you'll be like, man, what other stories can they tell? Yeah. Are they going to repeat things like, they're doing a Clone War thing again with Spider-Man? Are they repeating?
Not to say that they don't do it, because they do it over and over.
But it's just a matter of like how they do it, or they homaging, homage to this, I'm like, what's your plan? What's your plot? What are you doing? So like, with the Spider-Man clone thing, I'm like, they reintroduce characters, but with a twist to the whole like cloning thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, don't paint yourself into a corner. Learn from the last time. Last time they did the clone thing, it was like that shit was homogenized. It was like all over the place.
Is the Gwen Stacy or what was her Gwen?
Spider-Gwen?
Spider-Gwen? Is she in our universe? Like, is she in the Parker universe?
Oh, like in the 616?
616?
I don't know if she made.
Because I know they still do the Spider-Man 20 whatever.
I think they may have put her back in her universe after doing the whole Spider-Verse thing.
Really?
I think. Don't quote me now.
Oh yeah, I remember at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I got to reread it again, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of shit. Weird stuff happens with Spider-Man, and all the time. Like, what new things can you bring to Spider-Man without bringing in clones again? Without bringing in... Like, I want to see something with Madam Web. I love Madam Web. I would like to see some...
She cool. I ain't mad at her.
Like her play her little games.
It's just like...
But a new character,
I'll put like this. Parker Industries, my beef with the whole thing is just how he got it. Because it was like leftover from like the story devices that they used when Dr. Octopus was running Peter's body. Or taking over Peter Parker's body. There it is. And so it's just like when Octavius was running around as Peter Parker, he's like, why ain't this cat patenting these web fluid? Why ain't Peter Parker being more,
It's actually smart, though, because he should have done all that shit.
He should have. And it's like the fact that he didn't, I'm like, his writer's not clever enough? Or Marvel said, we don't do that? Like, what's the dealio? So, so now that Peter has his body back and Octavius is dead.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, he's left with this Parker Industries. I'm like...
Well, he can't really just, leave it because he has commitments and people that have to, depend on him and all that.
Leave it. But I don't know if they treat it where it's like, all of a sudden he has Parker Industries.
Yeah.
Now, he never had this notion before. Where's his clientele? Or what's his, thing? Like, I can... run a business.
Yeah. Like, what are we going to sell? What are we going to
sell, buy, build this, take that, payroll, this and that, you know what I mean? Like,
he's a startup Tony Stark.
Now that's what he's become.
Yeah.
It's just like, but I don't want Peter Parker as Tony Stark. I want Peter Parker as Peter Parker. You know what I mean? I'd rather make it more interesting where like he has it but he loses it, or he doesn't want it, or he frees it up, or he does something with it, or he he teams up with a Norman Osborn or something. Somebody who's like, I'm gonna show you how to run your business, and then takes it from him. You know what I mean? It's just like to be like,
maybe they will lead up to that.
Well,
maybe someone's just gonna dupe him, take his business from him, and then he'll go back to just being poor old Peter Parker.
Well, so that's the thing about Peter Parker. He can't be rich Peter Parker. It's like the Hulk. He can't have a happy ending. If he has a happy ending,
then it's that.
Unless he goes to a massage parlor,
right? That's a different kind of Hulk.
You know what I mean? But it's just like he'll never have. He always needs to be chased, hounded. Military after him, you know, never able to get with anybody. He loves him. You know, people want to like help protect him. He's like, I'll bring drama because that pushes the story. That keeps it interesting. As soon as he gets happy, finds love, you know, accept it. It's just like you have to. If you do that type of story, which was like Planet Hulk, you got to take it from him.
What about this though? What about Superman? The new Superman's coming out and he has his kid.
I love that. And that's DC's that's their way of saying and realizing. Oh, we listened to people or ourselves when we said Superman was corny.
Yeah.
And then we replaced him with a more edgier Superman, and people didn't like that. So then they was like, oh, we need to go get the original Superman. So they're like, well, you know, we'll do this event and we'll make it happen. Like, this is
bring him back, wife,
we'll bring him back with you know, him and Lois are, you know, married with a kid, and they will bring him back. And then like, you know, this is the before the edgy, you know, Superman. This is, you know.
But it's also cool because he's like training his son how to be Superman.
But I will say this: I love it. I buy the book.
Yeah.
I love it. I pick it up, and it's like it does give me the feeling of like classic Superman, where like, you know, I preserve life overall, and I'm gonna be that prime example above all.
Like, if I gotta beat you, I'm gonna beat you. But
fair and square.
If I don't have to, I won't. You know,
he's just like, I'm an honorable man. It's like I'm gonna be that example again. It's like, you know, I know who I am and what I'm here to do. And so, you know, you need to just, you know, be cool.
Yeah, just be cool. Or
you know, and it's like, and I fucks with that. Like I said, here, and it's like the touch of him having a son and teaching him and training him and being a father to his son. Peter Tomasi and Patrick Gleason write it in a way that's like dope. They know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
They know exactly who they're like. Yo, this is the audience. As long as they keep them on that book for now.
Yeah.
It will be a success. As soon as you bring in somebody else, and if they don't have that sensibility of saying this is a father and son book, this is like, and it's like, this is supposed to be like Superman away from all the hoopla. This is the adventures of Superman and his family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keep that essence to it. You got money. You got a reader.
Can you do that same thing with Batman? Can you give Batman a family and then a child? Well,
I mean, he has Bruce Wayne situation.
Well, yeah.
So I was like, of course I believe it.
Yeah, but that's in the show. In the comic, I think it works more for me in a comic than it would in a show.
It's all on the writer. I'll put it like this.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true.
You get Mark Millar.
Yeah, probably.
To write. You know, this like Bruce Wayne, the Bruce Wayne comic book. Being a father to Damian.
Yeah.
That would be so amazing.
Did Grant Morrison do that?
That would, who?
Grant Morrison wasn't he the one who came up with that? Like introducing Damian Wayne to Batman and all that?
I don't,
like,
did he?
Grant Morrison has had a long history with Batman. He still does.
See, I'm not a Batman head.
Well, I mean, I read enough. I don't know all of it.
I'm more partial to Marvel than DC Comics when I pick and read mine.
And then you like Superman more anyways, right?
I like Superman more than Batman. But I'm current, or I'm understanding.
Oh yeah, you read it as well.
But I'm understanding and know. I keep up on comics, so I know what's up with Batman. I have a general idea of where he's at.
Yeah,
you know. So I'm like I said, Mark Millar doing a Batman or a Bruce Wayne and Damian book, like Bruce Wayne being a father to Damian outside the cow. You know what I mean? And then it's like, but you know that they dress, you know, up in their adventures that they have to deal with and shit. I don't know. Like I said, of course, and it's like you only put the cowl on them when you have to, when you got to push the story to add that oomph. But other than that, it's like character development, dynamics, you know, the lessons to be learned. Yeah, amazing. You know what I mean? Like I said, to see Superman and his son, and Superman's trying to teach him how to fly. Yeah. And he tugs on his cape or you know, does something or whatever. He help him along. Like that shit. Those are moments that are
the good little moments.
That's what's necessary.
Well, it's kind of the same as Invincible, right? When Mark is getting trained by his dad on how to be a superhero and all
when
that.
He tugged on his cape and helped him up.
But then ends up beating his ass.
That shit was dope. It's like, yes, that's how
that's the good moments. But then you always kind of expect when you have that father-son moment that the dad is going to eventually die. Like,
I'm pretty. What you think?
I do. And every movie, when you have that
Disney movie, yeah.
Well, no, the Disney movie's the mother. The mother always does it in a Disney movie. Every other movie is always the dad.
Is it the mom? I thought they were like a lot of. Most of them are orphans.
Yeah, because the moms are the ones that are always dying. Remember Land Before Time? The mom dies. I'm gonna blank right now. But there's a lot more Disney movies where the mom always dies.
But the parents is definitely get them out the way, then they freeze the kids up. That's their logic. So.
Well, and the thing with Bruce is like at the end of Kingdom Come, when Diana and Clark say that she's pregnant, and then we want you to be the freaking Godfather. That would be cool too. Is if Batman just trained his godson on how to also be a man. Because Superman teaches him how to be, well, not a god, but how to be super. Batman can teach him all.
See, Superman's thing is not to teach him how to be super, just how to be humble.
Yeah. But what I mean? Like Batman,
how to cherish life.
Batman could probably be the more strategic side.
Of course,
and would just teach him how to fight. Batman, and he's like, you don't need to use your powers. You can just fuck him up.
Batman would definitely show him how to pick a lock.
Yep, right.
Like, you ain't got to rely on your powers all the time. It's how you pick a lock.
Yeah, you don't need to burn it off and then give away that we're here. Just pick a lock, close the door, and lock it.
Use the hairpin. You'll be good.
Would that be the most dangerous character in the DC universe then?
Oh, dude, Batman, Superman's son, raised by Batman.
Yep.
Dope. That would be like that. That's a Millar story right there. It'd be like, yo, son, write that shit. You know what I mean? You take Superman's son.
That was
raised
badass.
by Batman,
right?
But you make up your own Superman and your own Batman.
Yeah.
Dope.
That would be freaking amazing, man. Yeah. Like, there's a lot of stories out there, man, that people would love to see, but either what prevents that? Do you think?
What prevents what?
What do you think prevents that from like people just writing like hearing or reading those stories that like how we were just saying like?
I don't know. Like I said, either limited by creativity, which I'm like, I doubt that. But then again, it's like, corporate decisions where they're like, we have a general direction that we're trying to market and stay within, so you have to be in this area or else you ain't got the job. Yeah. And so it sounds like that would probably be more of the sensible one. Yeah. So a lot of the decisions that you'd be like, oh, why is Superman costume look like this?
Well,
it's a corporate situation.
How rare is it for for somebody to just get like 100% control of it, or not 100%, but a good amount?
Like I said,
like would Mark Millar be able to do whatever he wanted with Batman and Superman?
Well, not necessarily with Batman and Superman. He can do what the fuck he wants because he has his own characters and comic company. Yeah. But like if he were to write a Superman book or something like, or Batman or something like that, he would have to stay within a certain parameter. Yeah. Which is respect, and he should. You know what I mean?
Yeah, respect the past and all that.
I just wouldn't want him to get on there and be like, I'm gonna just do what the fuck I want. I'm like, I want you to get on there and do what the fuck you want. But like,
stay true.
But stay true. Yeah. You know what I mean? I didn't come, to yo shit like that. I'm like, I'm coming to see how you do, how you spin this character, or what's your spin on this story. And if it's interesting, then I'm like, yeah, give it to me. Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. And if it's not, then I'm like,
deuces.
You need to stay in your own house. You need to stay on your own characters. You need to stay on this and that.
I think that's what works well with him is because they're his characters, so he can do whatever the hell he wants with them. It's always weird. It's always different when you come into somebody else's character. It's already there and just completely mess with it.
That is true. I know that. I don't know. Like people, like for me, I have the situation where people love what I'm capable of doing when it comes to my art. They love when I do my own stuff. Yeah. But when they hire me, they want to put me in a box and have me do. They see a piece of what I'm capable of and want me to just do that. Yeah. They like they don't want me to do what the fuck I need to do to just bring them the glory. Yeah. They're like, we want that piece. I'm like, you want me to piecemeal my ability? Like I'm like, I can try for you, but that's not the glory. That's not the goal. I'm gold, but
It's like when they want you to draw something that you can draw better, but you're like, or something like that, right?
It's just like, I can pencil, ink, color, and write. I can do the whole shabizzle. Yeah. But people usually just want me to pencil. Yeah. Or or just to color, or just to, and then when I color, they're like, but I'm looking for a specific palette. I only want you to use pastels, or I want you to use, I want you to render like this or model like this, and I'm like, well, in order to model like that or color that detail, That's gonna take up this many hours. That's more time.
Yeah.
You paying me? If you're not
Right?
paying me, then I'm like, why should I spend my god awful? Why should I spend my time trying to make you look brilliant?
Yeah.
And you paying me shillings?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless,
why would you?
Unless it's a personal project, a favor. I'm personally invested, or a team, or a crew, or it's something where I benefit. Where I'm like, yeah, I'm coloring this to look amazing because when it comes out, we both splitting the profits or something like that. If it's just to make you look good and I get nothing, I'm like, what? And there are people out there who will. Competition is like that. There are young artists out there using Photoshop who want to get in the industry.
They want to make that money.
They want to make that money, so they're just like, they're like, oh, I can color, like that, and you can pay me, nothing.
Yeah.
Just for the privilege, and I'll be happy. And it's like, wow, cool.
Right. Go for it.
There's somebody who will take that, who, all day. But I have to realize for myself, I'm not that. I'm capable of I'm capable of elevating your what you're bringing to the next level and beyond.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, if they don't let you, then that's their fault.
That's their fault. I'm like, maybe because they don't trust, they don't know, they just maybe they just want what they want. It's not for me to question. I'm just like, look, I can only offer it to you. You can get it. If you don't want it, then I'm like, cool. That means there's less shit for me to think about.
All right. All right, guys, on that note, this is the end of I Am Comics Podcast, Episode 4. The intro, by the way, I've been meaning to say this, is done by my friend. You can find him on SoundCloud. His name's Dr. Dune. This has been Josh Casper.
And JJ Kirby.
We will be back next time. You can find us on Instagram under I Am Comics Podcast, under Twitter. We got a new Facebook now, so you can look us up on that as well. All right, guys, read on.